Hello, my name is Alexey Yaroshevsky. I'm a news reporter for Russia Today television station and also doing commentaries on Eastern European football for the TalkSport radio in England. Now, you may know me and several of my colleagues. We reported on this story of Henrikh Mkhitaryan from Shakhtar Donetsk club, who was supposedly Anfield bound, but we all know how that went, and I'm being asked a lot of questions what exactly went wrong. Now, I've been saying this all along. I gave a gentleman's promise to one of the sources who's working closely with the Liverpool Football Club that I will not reveal all the details of what exactly happened in the failed Mkhitaryan bid, but essentially this was all about the player, the Armenian, heading to Dortmund, and this was his wish initially, that he wanted to play at the Westfalen Stadium. He played there in the Champions League. He was lured by the atmosphere and the fans, and this was his wish. This eventually led to Mkhitaryan signing for Dortmund, not Liverpool. The thing is, which is most important here, that until Dortmund came knocking, we were favorites to land the Armenian international, and in fact the talks were taking place, and despite that there hasn't been any confirmation coming from the club side on that. We have me and my colleagues in Russia had very trustworthy information coming from the sources that such talks indeed took place, that Mkhitaryan traveled to London. What exactly went wrong will probably remain a mystery for the general public, for the fans, but essentially this was about, as I've said, his wish to move to Dortmund. But the good news here is that we still have the cash which was supposedly allocated for the purchase of Henrikh Mkhitaryan, and this would probably mean that by the end of the summer, by the end of the transfer window, Liverpool will be signing some major players, although with all the speculation as to who those players may be, it is still unclear who will be the real targets. Now, I would like to focus my attention on several players in Eastern Europe which I find very talented, and they could in fact be successful at Anfield. One of them, and this is my favorite, he has been in fact my favorite after Henrikh Mkhitaryan for some time already. This is Evgeny Konoplyanka from the Dnipro club in Ukraine, a left winger, and yes, it is that guy, exactly that guy, who scored an amazing, crazy goal at Wembley against England, who gave a very hard night to our very own Glenn Johnson, practically raped him on the pitch. Well, I see that Konoplyanka is a very talented winger, although we've been speculating with many fans on Twitter for the past several weeks whether we actually need a left winger, but Konoplyanka can actually play in the middle as well, even though his wing position is the strongest. One of his biggest advantages is that he can play with both feet, and he has a very strong shot, as you could probably see during the game at Wembley. Another person also from Ukraine who draws a lot of attention by pundits, by fans on Twitter alike, is Alexey Yaroshevsky from the Dynamo Kiev club. Personally, I think he is not there quite yet. He's not the Liverpool Football Club level player, but he may be such a player in 1 or 2 years. He's a very strong right winger who also produces lots of goals, and unlike Konoplyanka for that matter, because Konoplyanka's goal scoring record has not been that immense. He's more about assisting and delivering the ball to the box, but this is not the case of Yarmolenko, who's scoring far more many goals. The fact is, he's playing for a relatively mediocre team at the moment. Dynamo is not doing very well both on the Ukrainian arena, and they've been failing in the Champions League, so he may not be the player we need at the moment in terms of his capabilities, in terms of his psychology, and in terms of what he can produce on the pitch. Another player also widely discussed from Eastern Europe as a potential target for Liverpool, although there's nothing concrete on the matter whether we actually made a move for him or we have been actually interested in purchasing this player, is Alan Zagoyev from CSKA Moscow club. I've been saying this all along as well. He first of all, he was a very strong player just a couple of seasons ago, and I would probably loved to see him at Liverpool Football Club about 2 years ago. Before Euro 2012, he was one of the hot prospects in Russia. His performance at the championship last year in Ukraine and Poland was also drawing lots of attention and many praises from the pundits and fans alike. Last season he played for CSKA, despite that CSKA claimed the title and they won the Russian Championship comfortably. Zagoyev saw a slump in his form, and I also believe that he is not the kind of player we need at the moment, because, especially because he's got problems with his temper. There have been several incidents where he's been receiving red cards, and practically, well, just the game which we saw today between CSKA and Krylia Sovetov club, he also had some misdemeanors on the pitch, and there was a suspicion he may be red carded as well. So this is another potential danger coming from Zagoyev, so he may not be just the kind of player we need. Also, there have been lots of links with Balas Dujak from the Dynamo Moscow club, also a talented Hungarian. His move to Russia was one of the most anticipated, and in fact he is a very talented player, despite that Dynamo is also a rather mediocre team at the moment, and he was probably one of the standout performers in the team. Still, I'm not sure personally that he would make the grade at Liverpool Football Club. Still, I understand, talking to people involved in scouting for the club, that they are watching many players in Eastern Europe. Konoplyanka, I was told, was put on the radar some time ago, although so far it isn't clear whether any actual moves or any actual interest has materialized from the club, whether we're actually interested. Maybe the club will be trying to keep it under the carpet, just like it was with Osama Saidi last year. Maybe eventually we'll get a player from Eastern Europe. That's what I'm hoping for, in particular with the Konoplyanka, with the Evgeny Konoplyanka case. And all in all, we've got very many talented players. Most of them are based in Ukraine. Some of them are based in Russia. The both championships are progressing every year, with more money being put into the championships, and players are progressing at a very rapid rate. And I hope to see some players from Eastern Europe, the place where I come from, playing for the Liverpool Football Club in the nearest future, and hopefully this will not be another Andrei Voronin. This was Alexey Yaroshevsky, Russia Today's news reporter, specially for LFC Red Source.